recording now. So here we go. We are now recording. So today's call is just going to be a breakdown of the pairs that we are watching. You'll remember that I called out CAD JPY. If I show us the Discord screen and I just get this out of the way, how do I do that? So give us a second. So if I start sharing my Discord screen and I open up Discord first, give me a second to open up Discord. It's taking its time, so just give it a second. But basically, the point is, I posted loads and loads of trades in the watch list at the beginning of this week, and I said that I was going to be entering trades on a couple of those, and also I had market execution orders on a couple of those. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be going through all of those trades, seeing how they played out, seeing how we could have improved any of those, and so on and so forth. You should now all be able to see my Discord screen. So here we go. I'm just going to go onto the watch list for the week and I'm going to go onto a couple of pairs that I sent out. So here we go. This was a trade that I broke down in last week, Thursday. I broke down this trade. We had weekly bias, as you can see. We had lower time frame 1 hour bias. We had a Wyckoff distribution as it was coming into that higher time frame weekly OB. And I was expecting to see it come all the way down and come into an imbalance where we would start taking profit, right? That was the first trade that I was watching. Another trade that I was watching was GU. As you can see, I was waiting for a tracement to come to an OB, to come to a UTAD, and then for a sell-off. And the last important one, at least, was this Euro NZD. I was looking to sell it. So here we go. I had a nice area of supply that I wanted the market to go up to as a last point of supply, and then for us to sell off nicely. This trade on USD Euro NZD ended up running for, I think it was 100 pips, and I think one of our members, Dan, one of our here we go, official Dan. He was one of the members that made a good amount of money and was actually entered that trade. So yeah, that was that. We had a couple other trades that were profitable. So I remember CAD JPY. I was looking to enter from, and this I am actually in profit right now on CAD JPY. I did get a re-entry. I sent out to the group, and finally we have USD JPY that I haven't been triggered into so far. So here was the entry for CAD JPY. I was actually stopped up for this entry. Then I had another entry up top right here that is now playing out very nicely. So those are all of the setups that I sent out. If I now start sharing my screen on Chrome, I'll just go through all of those setups. So here you go. This is the CAD JPY setup I sent out onto Trade Talk. If you go on Trade Talk, you'll find this setup. So basically, I had a nice area of OB that the market made for us, and we were expecting the market to come into that area of OB and to sell off nicely. We have higher time frame weekly confluence, as you can see. The market formed, or was it a daily confluence? Let me just make sure of that before I say anything too rash. So here we go. You can see we have a very nice daily OB up here, that doji. The market was coming into that doji. And then what we had was a market form, a very nice Wyckoff distribution schematic as it was coming into that doji. As you can see, the market tapped it perfectly at that UTAD, broke structure, making that UTAD valid. We had the market return now to a nice OB, and we're looking for the market to sell off nicely all the way down to the downside, right? So that's why I'm expecting for CAD JPY. Dan says USD JPY is very close to the entry price. I'm just going to get up USD JPY for us before I start. So here we go. USD JPY, yeah, is very, very close to our entry price. So here we go. It looks to me that it's starting to sell off all the way now. So if I just go through USD JPY for us and we start on those higher time frames, as you can see on the daily time frame, we are bearish overall, never trade counter trend. You can see we have a very nice bearish pattern. We're forming lower lows and lower highs ever since 2017, right? Then what we had the market do is we had the market tap into an OB up here very perfectly and break structure below lows down here, right? Then what we had the market do is we had the market retrace. Sorry about that. I just had one of my brothers walk into the room, but I've gotten rid of him now. So as I was saying, I was talking about USD JPY. USD JPY tapped into an OB up here and sold off nicely and broke structure below this low. Then what we had the market do is we had the market retrace very nicely. As you can see, we had the market form equal highs, which is actually something that I've been watching very closely, just because I thought that perhaps we might see those equal highs get taken out before we have any sort of sell-off. We do have areas up here that I am watching if those equals do get taken out. So that there are areas up here, you could argue, in zones all the way up here, right? So we could see the market retrace all the way up there and then sell off nicely. There is also equal lows, as you can see, very nice equal lows that the market might go to take out. But I am looking to at least scalp it from here into an area of equal lows. Then perhaps what we can see is the market. So if I had to go down a bit slower, so I'm expecting is to get an entry, take out equal lows, then go higher, maybe take out equal highs, but overall we're bearish, so we're gonna come back down at some point. Right, so that's my outlook on USD JPY, and that's the setup for USD JPY. I had another setup on GU, and this setup did end up playing out very nicely. So if I just get the chart open for GU, I'm just going through. You won't be able to see my screen. I'm on right now. What I'm on is I am on Discord trying to get up the screen. So here we go. Those are two charts I sent out for GBUSD and the watch list. You can see I had weekly confluence, and also we had a lower time frame 1 hour confluence in terms of a 1 hour confirmation, Wyckoff confirmation setup. As you can see from that area that I had drawn out, which was I think here somewhere in this zone. So that was the area that I had drawn out. The market tapped that area and was selling off very, very nicely. Now, what it looks like to me is GU is doing is it looks to me that it is retracing nicely to an OB up here before a continued sell off to take out equal lows. And maybe even equal lows down here, and maybe even equal lows down here. Right, there are multiple sets of equal lows that GU needs to come take out. So I'm saying that entries now on GU to take it lower do look very, very nice. Um, to take it lower. I didn't actually enter this just because basically what I wanted to do was if I go here, you can see I had my bias climax, my primary supply, our automatic rally come to count our area of primary supply, our secondary test accumulating liquidity, our up plus taking out that liquidity, and then our UTAD again taking out liquidity again. What I wanted to happen was if I just get this open and I get my page marker out, what I wanted is the market to break structure below these lows, validifying this as a UTAD that we want to be entering trades from. And then what I wanted to do was get entries. So if I just get my thing up, so break structure below these lows, then get entries. So for that reason, I didn't actually enter this setup. I know there were a couple of people in the group that did enter this setup and did make a good amount of money. But I didn't actually enter this setup and I didn't catch any pips as a result of that. There are a couple other pairs that we were watching. So GJ, if I go through GJ is continuing to sell off. So as you can see, the market pushed up, right? Did it come trigger our OB? Let me just get my chart open for GJ for that I sent out to the group chat. So give me a second to get that up. So here we go. This was okay. I didn't send out. Did I send out? Okay, here we go. This was the chart that I sent out. So basically, I broke down. So last week, what we had happen was we had an OB here that we bought GJ up to, and we took full profits at an imbalance. This was a nice, I think, 100 pip move that a couple people in the group did catch. If you were in the group at that time, because I know a couple of you are very new to the group, there are a couple of people in the group that did catch this move and did catch a good amount of pips for. If you are one of those people, please do let the other people know in the group, in the chat, because I know there are a couple of people that caught this full move to the upside. Then what I did was I broke down on Thursday how I was looking to sell this pair from an OB here, just because we had higher time frame confluence in terms of our weekly time frame. We had weekly confluence right here, as you can see. Right, the market had weekly confluence, was distributing on the lower time frames, so it looked like everything was telling us to sell this pair. So I didn't want to enter any counter trend setup. So I thought, yes, I thought we just have to sell this pair despite us just buying it, the trade before that, right? Where I'm looking to take profit for this setup is areas up here, right? As you can see, there is a nice imbalance, right, between these 2 weeks, so this week and that week. You can see there's a nice area of imbalance. So I'm looking to take full profits off the table. I'm actually in this trade, and I'm looking to take full profits off the table once the market comes into our area of imbalance, right? So that's the final take profits that I'm looking to enter from, to take trades off of, to take full profits off the table from, right? So those are two setups that I'm currently, and I'm also currently in CAD JPY. I don't know if I broke down CAD JPY, but basically what we had was an OB form, very similar to GU and GJ. The market was distributing as it came into a weekly OB, so we were expecting to sell it off, right? Another setup that was looking very promising was gold. If I just show us here, I didn't actually enter any trades and I didn't send it into the group just because there wasn't an OB present. And if you guys all remember the rules that we look for, we always look for OBs to be present before we enter any sort of trade setup. So as you can see here, that was a nice imbalance that the market is currently inside. So it might react from that imbalance for a bit, because there was no OB, I'm not entering this setup. So that's gold. There are a couple of other pairs that I was looking at. So USD CHF we were looking to buy. That didn't go as to plan. Euro USD still I am watching, and I am still looking to enter trades from. So we had for USD JPYs, we had the market form equal lows, equal highs. The market just took out those equal highs, right? And now what it looks to me the market is doing is, if I just go to the higher time frames, go to something like the daily. So where was that OB I was looking at? I think it might have been the lower time frame. So let me just zoom out and replay that OB. We go something like this, and we go to something like the 10-minute, just so it'll actually come up. What we had was a nice OB right here that the market had formed. If we add these, you can add these last two buyers candles, right? The market formed that OB, and I was looking for the market to return to that OB before a potential sell-off. If you look at the market now, the market hasn't quite triggered that OB. As you can see, it didn't quite trigger that higher time frame OB, which is up here, that our entry price. It did come into our overall OB, but it didn't trigger my entry yet. Um, if just because it has broken structure, it looks like to me it's not going to come into a higher time frame OB again. So what we could be doing is getting trades or entries like this, right? And that does look like a nice setup if I do say so myself. And we go into something like the 1 hour. No, not the 1 hour. We go into something like the 10-minute I was meant to do. We do have consolidation on the side of this setup as well. So as you can see, if I draw in this OB that we had marked out, so this is the OB I'm talking about. It has consolidation on its side. As you can see, we have this whole area of consolidation from before, right? The market takes out liquidity to the downside. So what we have is a consolidation, an expansion, a retracement, and then we want to get our entry to take the market lower, right? Which is one of like the daddy of smart money concepts is rules. He uses that rule of, the person I'm talking about is ICT. You probably all know um, the concepts of smart money. He originated them. He came up with all of them. So that's just a quick shout out to him. But he came up with a strategy where he looks for an area of consolidation, an area of expansion, an area of retracement. Not an area of retracement, but the market to retrace, come into an OB, and then to see the market sell off nicely. Mohammed says, when it comes into an OB, do you go to the 1 minute and look at the market structure on enter, or would you just enter straight away just like it was a limit? It depends. In this case, I would go onto the 1 minute just because we're taking a bet, because we're not. So for example, in this case, just because the market hasn't actually come into a higher time frame OB and we're looking to enter a trade anyway, I definitely go onto the 1 minute for this setup in particular and look at market structure. But in general, it's most of the time it's fine for you to enter trades even from something like this, to just enter a sell with your stop loss here and then to ride the market lower. So most of the time that is fine, but for the times that it isn't fine, what I like to do is look on the 1 minute time frame and look at how I'm going to be able to um refine my entries onto the lower time frames. So yeah, that's what I suggest you do, and that's how I suggest you go about entering on EU. It does look like we might actually get the market coming into our OB right now while we're in the call. If that does happen, let's see, maybe let's just go into the 1 minute. Um, let's see maybe if there was a nice area that we could have refined that OB to. It doesn't look like there was any areas that we could refine the OB2. So this just might be an entry in terms of, okay, I would say perhaps we're obviously going to be watching this, as I said, and as I told Mohammed from Canada. So I'd be saying maybe it could come all the way to this OB because we do have a nice engulfing candle from that last buy to sell candle. So if it does end up going to that and we don't have a nice reaction from that area, then I'm not going to be entering any setups. Uh, Francois says, I marked out a Wyckoff earlier on my phone. Does it look right? Let's open up his chart. Your chart doesn't seem to be working, Francois. I'm not quite sure why. I think maybe something's wrong with your link. So, um, yeah, I'm not sure. Um, I'm actually not sure why your link isn't working. Bang Ming says, are we going to be doing live trade calls? I don't. The thing is, for example, when a setup happens, so for example, it's hard to get a setup and call everyone because I may not, number one, be available at the time. Number two, everyone else may not be available, and setups happen spontaneously. For example, CAD JPY, I was outside when it entered. I just came back from the gym. I've been out and about today, so I CAD JPY, when I was triggered into that setup and I entered that trade, I'm not going to be available to make that video, right? Okay, here we go. Francois, apparently your link had. Okay, here we go. This makes sense. Euro USD, you're looking at some sort of Wyckoff. You're looking at this being your primary supply, your bias climax, this being something like your secondary test. The market coming down, coming to your primary supply as an automatic rally, our upthrust accumulating liquidity again. Then we have our UTAG taking out that liquidity. The market coming back down, forming a sign of weakness, coming up to an area of supply and then selling off nicely. This is a perfect Wyckoff. Francois, this is a perfect Wyckoff. Um, you can't get any better than this. Maybe the only thing that you could have gotten better than this is maybe your OB, and maybe you're finding it better. But this is a perfect OB. This is a perfect Wyckoff schematic. So I'd say that's that. Very nice, very clean setup. Maybe you should have sent this out to the group chat. We might have entered trades using it because this was absolutely beautiful. Jeffrey says, "Can you please take a look at NZD CAD high highs?" Let's of course do that. Don't mind that. Someone just calling me. But here we go. NZD CAD. Um, it looks to me that okay, what do I see on NZD CAD? NZD CAD, we've had a setup drawn in for a very long time. As you can see, we had a weekly OB, it looks like, or a daily OB. Was it a 4 hour OB? Let's just take a look. So here we go. We had a nice area of sell to buy action going on. The market broke structure below that low. And we're seeing a nice buy up now happen. Um, just because, okay, let's look at our higher time frames. Our higher time frames are bullish, right? So that is a good sign as well. Um, what do I see? Let's go on to the lower time frames, maybe something like this. Let me just delete all of this out of the way. On the lower time frames, is there any clear entry? Okay, here, this looks like a very nice entry here. I'm not going to be entering this just because it's not as clean as I'd like it for it to be. But you can see here there's a nice OB that it could come up to and then push up from. But the only reason I'm not entering is because we don't have a valid OB in terms of our daily. Okay, looking at the daily now, it looks like we do have a valid OB. So here we go. This is the daily OB that I was talking about that I had marked out before. Let's get rid of that. Why did I? Give me a second, boys, to get that OB back. So this is the OB that the market is just now coming into. Um, this does look nice. If I do say so myself, this does look very nice. Plus, there is imbalance that the market needs to come take out. So down here, there's an area of imbalance. So this does look nice. And plus, we do have consolidation on this side of the setup for that OB. So this does look nice. If I do say so myself, Jeffrey, I think you have a winner on your hands right here. This does look like a very nice setup. Another thing I'd be adding confidence to this setup is there could be some sort of, if I draw in the fib, right? The mark that OB right there is exactly at the 0.786 discount zone. So this could be a very nice setup, right? That you could be entering trades from. So I would say this is very, very nice. If you want to enter any trades on this, I'd say go ahead. I'm not going to be doing that just because I'm running in profit on GJ from last week. I'm on a little bit of a streak. I don't want to end the streak. So last week's watch list ended up playing out very nicely. This week's watch list does look like it's playing out very nice, very very what do you call it, nicely. Madaga says, or Zoom user says, I'm new here. When will there be more videos on the course? So what's happening is I'm posting a video today, a Wyckoff video, on the YouTube channel. So there won't be any new videos today. I do have one video so far on the video course. I do also have, if you look at the daily recordings, so if you're new to the group, there's just a little tour for you for the group. This is where we post our watch lists, our pairs that we are watching for the week. These are old signals from February back when I used to do actual signals of like entry price, stop loss, and so on and so forth. Trade talk is just where we talk. Commands is just for admins. Motivation is where we motivate each other. Trade ideas where everyone can post trade ideas. daily calls, this is what I suggest you bang out, right? So for example, you can see GU trade recap, so on and so forth. I have titles and stuff, trade breakdown for the week, a weekly outlook. What else do I have? I have a couple others. Make sure you watch these videos. These videos are very, very nice. If you've been watching all of them, then the second option, the second thing for you um is definitely the videos, the video course. I'll be coming out with the video course later this week. So what day is it today? It is Tuesday. I'll have, okay, the promise I can say to everyone now is I'll have all 10 videos out by Friday, right? So I have 3 days, 3 days till Friday, right? So Wednesday, Thursday, and actual Friday. So by Friday, market close, I will have all of those videos out, and that can be a promise that I will give to everyone, right? So that's my promise to you. If you've been waiting for those beginner videos, so Solomon says, where are the beginner videos? How do you access them? We need the beginner videos. So here we go. On the 10-page video course, you can see I have one video that's for beginners. All of those I'll be making them like beginner oriented. So you can see we have one about lower time frame entries and how to refine entries. That's the first video. I'll be adding more to these, and I say that I'll have all 10 videos available in here by market close Friday. And if I don't, then you can request a refund if you like. I don't know. But you will definitely have these videos, right? Zoom says I don't have access to all of those options for some reason. What's your name on Zoom? I can perhaps what the reason for that is basically you may not have activated your subscription. Oh, here we go. So if you were king man, you didn't have the other role, so traders. I've just activated that for you, so you should be able to see all of these. Make sure you go ahead and take a look at those. You should be able to see everything now. But yeah, that's just a little tour for the people from that I've just bought recently. I'm getting loads and loads of questions now. CAD JPY to 5 minute OB. Let's see CAD JPY. I'm already entered in CAD JPY, so I'm not gonna over enter like too many entries. So let's see, you're talking about a 5 minute OB. Um, this looks like a valid OB all the way up here. I'm not seeing any OBs here. Maybe if you drop down to a time frame again, and we go into something like this, right? This could then like somewhere. I'm not seeing any valid OBs on the 5 minute time frame, if I do say so. There is one all the way up here, if that's what you're talking about. That's nice, but I wouldn't say entering from a 5 minute OB is particularly clear, right? Mohammed says, what are the things that make an OB valid? I'll be going through all of those things in the 10-part video course for OBs. That like stay in, wait for that video where I'll go through everything OBs. But just a quick thing for you. Two things that make an OB valid is that number one, so say for example we have an OB here, that's our bias candle, and we're looking to get OBs from that area. What we want to have is an engulfing candle, number one, and also the market to break structure. So what we have is a buy candle, then the market sell off. We want that sell off to break through some sort of previous structure. So if there was previous structure here, we want the market to break through that structure when the market sells off, so that when it returns, it comes back to our OB and we get a nice entry, right? And I talked about this on the YouTube. Okay, we're getting loads and loads of requests now. AUD Let's look at AUD So here we go. AUD here we go. If we go into something like a 4 hour time frame, what do I see on AUD It looks to me that AUD has reacted very nicely to an OB here. Just add that wick in. Right, it looks like it's reacted to a daily OB and is now beginning to sell off. If you look at our 4 hour time frame, is there any sort of 4 hour entry or 1 hour entry maybe? So here we go. It looks to me that there's a nice OB up here if you want to be selling AUD that has consolidation on its side, an impulsive move to the downside, indicating smart money is getting involved. So if you want to be entering trades, I'd say wait for it to come into an area here to take the market lower, just because we do have equal highs as well that the market needs to come take care of. Right, so we have equal highs in this zone that the market needs to come take care of, and I'd say it's going to take care of those equal highs, but first it needs to come. So I'm saying that it's going to come into this area. It's going to first take out these equal highs up here by going into an OB here, a supply zone, and then selling off. So I'll send this out into the group chat right now. So let me just screenshot this and then I'll put it on here. So here we go. I'll post. So what do I have? Let me just get a nice document open of all of the pairs that I want to send into the watch list after this call. So far what we have is AUD JPY so far. Then we have CAD JPY. What else do we have? We have GBP JPY. I'm not gonna send the GBP JPY update just because it's literally just playing out how we wanted it to play out. There's nothing much to show. CAD JPY. What else? I think that's all really that we have so far. So NZD, I'm getting loads and loads of people. I think we're just gonna have to slow down a little bit just because we are getting loads and loads and loads of people asking for things. So here we go. AUD JPY, looking to buy AUD JPY. Let's look at the buy for AUD JPY and look at maybe the 5 minute time frame for a buy up. Yeah, the buys do look potentially valid because we are pro trend on the lower time frames, and plus we do have equal highs. So I wasn't even thinking of a buy, but a buy could be very very valid. What was your chart saying? Your chart was saying that this was your entry based on a 5 minute POY. Let's look at that 5 minute POY a bit clearer, guys. I'm getting loads and loads of people asking questions. I'm getting loads and loads of people asking for things to go through. So I'm gonna have to slow down a little bit. But so far, I'm going through AUD JPY. So AUD JPY 5 minute OB. I'm not seeing a potentially valid 5 minute OB. I can't lie. If you're arguing this is a 5 minute OB, this isn't a valid OB just because we haven't had that engulfing candle. We haven't had the market break structure to the upside. You could argue that we have taken our 5 minute structure to the upside here, but it's not very clear that we have an engulfing candle. So I wouldn't, on the 5 minute side of things, maybe on the 1 minute time frame, it's a bit clearer. Let's look at the 1 minute time frame. Um, Even on the 1 minute time frame, we don't have an engulfing candle for this setup. So I'm not going to be entering this just because we don't have a valid OB. That does not mean you can't enter any trades on yourself. Maybe this was an area that the market might want to come into, and it's already done, as you can see. So that area is mitigated. That area is out of play. I would say if you want to count this whole area as a nice sell to buy, sell to buy area, then you could count that, and that would be a nice area to be looking at. But I'm not going to be entering this just because we don't have a valid OB. So that's what I would say for AUD JPY. Now people want me to go through. Okay, I'm getting loads of requests for NZD USD. So let's look at NZD USD. Madaga says I should go through USD CHF. I'll go through USD CHF. And then I'm getting GBP CHF. So USD CAD. I'm going to start off with NZD USD. So here we go. Let me start off with NZD USD. NZD, right? NZD USD. So what do I see on NZD USD? Just from the get-go, I see it looks like a nice sell-side setup could be playing out as we speak. But I'm just going to start from the higher time frames as you should do. But what it looks like to me is that the market has formed the equal lows, taken out those equal lows. Now we've had the market is formed equal highs now. And it looks to me that it's reacting from those equal highs and beginning to sell off, right? We had an OB placed here that the market seems to not be reacting to, that it just broke straight through. So I'm not going to be entering that. OB is out of play. You could be arguing that there is another OB up here that the market could be coming to, and that would be a very, very nice setup. So here we go. If you want to buy it up into an OB up here and then sell it down, that would be nice. But I would definitely say don't be entering right now. At least don't be entering any setups just because we are bearish because we've reacted nicely to an area of equal highs. We formed an OB, come to that OB nicely and sold off. Right now, what we've had is an OB form that has broken structure, as you can see. That's been very valid, right? Right, and we have the market come back, and it looks to me that it's reacting to some sort of Fibonacci level right now. So as you can see, it's reacting to that 786 zone, right? That's just temporary. I think it's going to go a bit higher, and we're having a push of momentum right now to the upside, right? It's going to come into an area here and then sell off some more. So that's what I'd be looking at if you want to be entering trades on NZD USD, right? So if we look at the chat, all these terms used here are very strange to beginners. Honestly, we are lost. We need a complete beginners video from Very Stretch. Thank you. Thanks a lot for all your good work. If I show you on the group, just give me a second, and we go on to daily calls recorded, and we go on to pinned messages. Okay, it's not on pinned messages, but if you scroll all the way up, right, you will find that I have a PDF in here, placed here. So just give me a second. And if I don't, I will post that PDF right now. I think I do. So just give me a second. This requires a bit of scrolling. Okay, I don't. I'll post that PDF in right now. That should help you out a lot. So here we go. I have a PDF that I have broken down everything from like very beginner style, just so that you can understand the concepts that I'm talking about in terms of liquidity, so on and so forth. But there you go. I've just posted that for you. You can go learn this and so on. If I click on it for you and I show you what it's about and I get it opened on Chrome, I'll just show you. Basically, we have a very beginner style, complete beginners type thing where we talk about market structure, what is bullish, bearish, all of that good stuff, how to refine entries from higher time frames to lower time frames, and then finally we talk about liquidity and then order blocks, right? But this is very bare bones. This is not, for the people like Dan in the group chat that are very, almost pro like, right? This is for beginners. So I'd say go through this, right? And I'd say go learn how to go through, learn the absolute basics through these. That's what I would say. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that question, and I hope that has answered that question. Williams says, check if this is an OB and a last point of supply. Of course, I can do that for you, sir. It looks to me that you are looking to buy GPCHF. So let me just get GPCHF open. GBP, GBPCHF, right? What we have is a buy side setup. You're looking to buy GPCHF, right? It looks like GPCHF, we had an OB drawn in for it, didn't react to that OB as it looks like. Then it went to one higher OB, if not that higher OB, maybe just this whole area of buying to sell, right? Then what we had the market do is, so from this OB, we had another OB form. The market came to that OB and is now selling off nicely, right? If we look at our higher time frame trend, we can see that we've reacted to a weekly time frame OB, and we are looking like we want to sell off very nicely, right? If I look at my higher time frames, it looks to me that there are nice areas to sell GPCHF from up here, right? If you're looking to buy it, there is a nice OB up here, down here to buy it from, but I wouldn't be buying just because we are not pro trend.
Bro, Matt, we can't see it, bro. Sorry.
Okay, thank you for that. I'm so sorry. Let me just start sharing my screen. Uh, you should now be able to see my screen. Can you see my screen now? Thank you for that, whoever unmuted. That was very helpful. Um,
Yes, you can see your screen now.
okay, thank you. Basically, you can see for GPCHF, if I just start again for GPCHF, if I look at my daily time frame for GPCHF, what we've had is we've reacted very nicely to a weekly OB. If I look at our weekly time frame, so I meant not on our daily time frame, right? And we look and we see that weekly time frame OB. This is our weekly time frame OB. The market has reacted very nicely to that weekly time frame OB and has now sold off, right? Then what we have the market do is from that weekly time frame OB. So this is the reaction to that weekly time frame OB up here, right? If not that, I think it's a bit higher, so it's all the way up here, right? Then what we've had the market do is sell off aggressively, as you can see, right? Leaving behind many imbalances, but just because they're so far away, I wouldn't even, worry about them too much. Then what we had the market do is continue to form lower lows and lower highs, form this OB, as you can see, and tap that OB and sell off some more, right? Now what we see the market do is tap this OB right here, and it looks to me that it's buying up now. It could very easily continue to buy up, right, and continue all the way up here to fill imbalances, and that could happen, and that's a risk that you're willing to take if you want to break the rules. For me, I don't want to break the rules ever, right, and therefore I'm not going to be entering this buy. You could be entering a sell here because that would be pro our rules. Our rules are we can't enter anything that is not pro trend, and as you can see here we are very clearly bearish. Therefore, we are sell side overall. You can see we have a nice OB formed here. We want to see the market push up into that OB and then sell off, right? So that's what we would be expecting. I wouldn't be looking to buy this pair just because we are not pro trend, and that's the only reason for that, right? I hope that makes sense, Williams. Um, I know that there are a couple other pairs that people wanted me to go through. I know that people wanted me to go through USD CAD, so let me go through USD CAD. And someone wanted me to go through USD CHF as well, so I'll just do that right now. And this was a very profitable setup that I posted last week. As you can see, if I just replay it for us, ended up hitting TP and forming those equal highs again. So as you can see, what we had for USD CHF was if I just show us, when we look at our daily time frame, we had a very clear daily OB. We are pro trend, as you can see. In terms of our decade level, we were pro trend, right? We were forming high highs and high lows in terms of our decade level. So that's the type of pro trend we were looking at. Also, we had a daily OB. The market, as it was coming into that daily OB, formed a nice area of a nice bit of Wyckoff. So this is our sellers climax, our secondary test, our spring. These are automatic rally coming up into areas up here, maybe at our primary supply. Then we have the market do its form our spring, right? So I wanted to buy this pair from an OB here. If I just show us, right, there was a nice 5-minute OB. So this was the 5-minute OB I was looking to enter from, and this was posted in the group chat. And I know some people did get an entry on this and make catch a few pips on this move, right? And I did catch this full move, and I think it was a 30-pip move that we caught for the USD right? So this was a very nice setup. We did, I think, also catch the buy up from here for 100 pips, right? And Dan, I think Dan is like the OG of the group. Dan can vouch. I think we did post this buy up. Dan, let me know if I'm wrong, but I think I did post a buy from a 5-minute OB from that daily OB, right? Pushing price up for this full 100 pip move. So I think I did post that. Dan, let me know if I didn't, but I'm pretty sure I did. Solomon says, what's Wyckoff? I think, Solomon, if you just joined the group, definitely wait till Friday. We'll have a full video breakdown for Wyckoff, and there'll be a video coming out on the YouTube channel for Wyckoff. If you want me to do a personal call with the group chat, solely about Wyckoff, I can do that. And if there's enough people in the group chat that want that, I can of course do that. But I would say wait till Friday because there'll be a full video coming out. But if you don't want to wait till Friday, then I will have videos coming out into on the YouTube channel tomorrow, right? Watley says, do you use EMAs? No, I don't. I don't use EMAs just because I think that EMAs aren't technically, there's nothing inherently wrong with EMAs, but I just think that they're a bit delayed, and I don't like using indicators as a whole just because there's no market logic when you're using indicators, right? You're just understanding that perhaps when trend changes, and we're hoping that the trend will continue. But say for example, in a consolidating market that's been consolidating for tens of years, right? Then literally EMAs will just be useless. EMAs only work in trending markets, right? If you're looking to buy it and you're hoping to maybe get like a EMA crossover here and you're looking to enter your buys here, fine. But EMAs are just, I don't like using indicators as a whole. I like, understanding the market for its price action, right? Because price action is, it's called price action because it's what price is doing, right? And it's not doing anything for no reason. There's always reasoning behind everything. And you understand that once you get to understand Wyckoff, and you will all understand Wyckoff by the end of this week. And I've said that now, that's my promise, right? So by the end of this week, I will have a full video in the group explaining Wyckoff. By the way, guys, we have less than 1 minute left on this call. What I'll do is I'll end this call and I'll restart it and I'll send a new link into the group. So give me